Hello friends, we're going to do some yoga today. Today we're going to be focusing a lot on the shoulders. As always, if you want to have a block, feel free to do so. There is one posture that we're going to be doing that it might be nice to have the block. If you don't, it's going to be okay as well. So main focus today is going to be on the shoulders. We're also going to have some focus on the hips. Let's start in a seated position. And as we come to our seated position, as always, just take any organic movement that maybe feels good to the body. Maybe just moving the head a little bit, maybe moving the shoulders. We're going to do our practice today for the shoulders. You know, a lot of us, men in particular, hold a lot of tension in the shoulders. That space right between the shoulder blades. A lot of us, if we get headaches and stuff, a lot of that just comes from the neck and the shoulders. So I think today's practice, if you have any of those ailments, hopefully at the end of the practice, they will be gone. And maybe this is a practice that you can just maybe do more often if you'd like. Coming to a place of stillness, we're just going to take a couple of breaths in and a couple of breaths out. Inhaling all that beautiful life-giving breath, exhaling anything that doesn't serve you today, anything that you need to just set off of your mat and set aside. And then when you're ready, finding a space of stillness. If you want to set an intention today, I want to invite you to do so. That intention is just between you and your mat. Maybe it's a prayer, maybe it's a dedication, maybe it's a mantra, whatever you would like. And then if your eyes are closed, let's go ahead and flutter them open, starting with shoulders over our hips. On your inhale, let's send our shoulders over to the right side of the mat. Then we're going to gently start to bring the shoulders towards the knees. We're going to roll all the way back over. We're going to land at the back of our mat. We're going to do that 3 more times. Let that feel like an organic movement. If you feel like you want to attach breath to movement, maybe the inhale is while the chest is at the front of the lap. Maybe the exhale is while the shoulders are towards the wall behind you. We'll just make one more circle here, letting those shoulders be as relaxed. Maybe the head is relaxed. Next time the shoulders come over the hips, let's leave them there. Take a round of breath. And then on your next inhale, let's bring the shoulders over to the left. We're going to do that exact same thing, just coming through a different direction here. And I want you to notice, does this side feel the same as the other side? That's always part of our yoga journey, part of our yoga practice, just observing. Does one side feel the same as the other? They don't have to feel the same, it's just noticing. And then the next time the shoulders come over the hips, let's leave them there. Take a round of breath. From here, let's extend the legs nice and long. Legs are going to be out in front of us. If you feel like you need to find a little bit of movement with your knees or with your ankles, feel free to do so. And this is going to be that spot that maybe you want the block. From here, let's take our right knee, bend that knee, and let's bring that right foot over towards the left heel. Now, if your foot doesn't go all the way over, you have that block to adjust the foot to a place that feels most comfortable, and then maybe use that prop just to kind of not have to think about that foot. Now, if you do have the flexibility here, and if you think you have the flexibility to bend the right knee as well, feel free to do so, coming into our shoelace pose. Again, if the one leg is extended and the other leg is bent, it's still the same posture. So you just do what feels best for you. And then whenever you're ready, shoulders come back over our hips, and then we're just going to drop the chin towards the chest. So just finding a nice stretch along the back of the neck. Keeping the airway passage free. And then on your next exhale, maybe the crown of the head, the very top of the head, starts to move down the wall in front of you just a little bit more. That's going to offer a deeper stretch here. Then when you're ready, let's bring our chin back up to a more neutral position. From here, let's bring our left ear towards our left shoulder. So we're stretching the right side of the neck here. It's the same leg that's on top. And the breath just allows for more movement. So if we usually wait just a few rounds of breath, we start to create a little bit more space. So maybe on your next exhale, this right shoulder, maybe it just melts a little bit further down, just deepening that stretch. If you did melt that shoulder, let's bring it back up to a more neutral position. From here, let's bring that chin in towards the chest or towards the collarbone, just finding an alternate stretch here. Bring that chin back to that more neutral position. From here, maybe press the chin away. Bring that chin back to a more neutral position. Let's bring that left ear away from the shoulder, and then we're going to turn the gaze, turn the face towards that left shoulder. So still stretching the right side of the neck. From here, let's bring the gaze back to a neutral position. From here, we're going to bring our arms out long in front of us. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to bring that hand to the top of our left shoulder. Left hand's going to come underneath that right shoulder blade. Now from here, figure out where your elbows are. Ideally, they're going to be stacked one above the other, and we're going to lift those elbows up a little bit higher. From here, let's start to walk the fingertips towards the spine. Now adding on here, we're going to start to bring the torso towards this top leg. Come to a space of sensation and then mindfully back away. We're here for a couple of rounds of breath. And maybe allowing the breath to be deposited towards the back of the spine, towards the back of the rib cage. And then maybe on your next exhale, maybe you fold just a little bit further. And then we're going to gently bring the torso back up. From here, let's walk the hands away from one another. Extend the arms long in front of us. We're going to take our left hand, we're going to swing it around the back. We're going to bend that elbow. Right arm is going to come up and we're going to bend that elbow as well. Now here, if you want, you can try to connect the hands, but that's not really what we're going for here. One of the things I want you to pay attention to is that you're not pressing the neck forward. What we're doing is working on the shoulder. So what I would prefer you to do is draw those shoulder blades together or bring the elbows towards the wall behind you. And we're here for just a couple of rounds of breath. When you're ready, let's release that left arm back to where it was. Release that right arm as well. We're going to take our right arm, we're going to cross it over the body. We're going to hook that arm with our left elbow, if that makes sense. From here, figure out what's going on with this right shoulder. Does this feel like it's too much? If it does, maybe turn that right hand a little bit more diagonal rather than having it straight across. If this feels fine, just stay right where you are. We're going to go deeper in just a moment, but not just yet. Just make sure you're breathing here. Now on your next exhale, maybe you just bend a little bit further. Just a suggestion. From here, let's release that arm, bring that right arm back over, and let's bring both arms down to the earth. From here, we're going to shrug both shoulders up towards the ears, and then we're going to bring our palms down towards the earth. Inhale, shrug up. Exhale, press down. One more inhale, shrug up. Exhale, press down. And then let's start to make some shoulder rolls. We're going to start rolling the shoulders towards the screen that you're watching me on. And then let's start to move the shoulders in the opposite direction towards the wall behind you. Coming to rest from here. One more time, we're going to start to bring that torso down towards that top leg. And maybe the hands are in front of you, maybe they're off to the side. Whatever feels best to you is what I want you to do. That might mean that the hands are just resting on that top leg. We're here for about 3 rounds of breath. From here, let's bring our torso all the way back up. Let's bring our hands behind us. If you have that left leg bent, let's go ahead and remove that left leg. Let's go ahead and bring that right leg back to follow. From here, we're going to find some organic movement that feels good to us. So maybe you're just going to press the feet, maybe you're going to windshield wiper the legs, whatever feels best to your body, that's what I want you to do. Maybe you're going to move the shoulders, just again, any organic movement. And then when you're ready, we're going to do that exact same thing on the opposite side. So this time we're going to take our left leg, we're going to bend that knee, bring that heel towards that right hip, utilizing the props here if you would like to. Otherwise, maybe you're bending that right knee as well, coming back into shoelace. And even here, you can still be utilizing the props if you feel like you want to. Also, same thing is, I could have cued this before, but like when you're coming forward on your torso, when we get to that point, if you feel like I just can't go very high, you can just have that block here. So you just do what feels best for you. Once you have arrived, we're going to bring that left ear, that right ear towards the right shoulder. So as always, we're not trying to make a connection, we're stretching the opposite side of the neck. And on your next exhale, maybe we melt that left shoulder a little bit further. Bring that shoulder back to a more neutral position. From here, bring the chin in towards the collarbone or towards the chest. Comes back to a more neutral position. Let's press the chin away. Come back to that more neutral position. From here, let's bring that ear away from the shoulder, and we're going to turn the face or the gaze towards the right. Turn the face back to a more neutral position. Let's bring the arms out long in front of us. This time we're going to take our left hand, bring it to the top of that right shoulder. Bring that left arm along the side underneath that armpit. Bring those elbows together. If you can, maybe lift those elbows up. And then from here, maybe walk those hands a little closer towards the spine. We're going to add on that fold whenever you're ready. Just starting to fold at the torso, bringing the chest towards that top knee. Come to a space of sensation, then mindfully back off. From here, we're going to gently start to bring ourselves all the way back up. We're going to release those arms. And then from here, we're going to take that right arm, swing it behind the back. Left elbow is going to bend. Same thing here. So if you want to connect the fingers, feel free to do so as long as you're not pressing the neck forward. Otherwise, just bring those elbows towards the wall behind you. When you're ready, let's go ahead and release that right arm, release that left arm. We're going to cross that left arm across the body, hook it with that right elbow. Maybe you tug a little bit further, maybe you don't. We're going to gently release, untug, release both arms. Bring both hands down to your side. From here, we're going to add on those shoulder rolls and those shrugs. So let's bring the shoulders up towards the ears and then drag them down. We're going to do 2 more of those. Once you come back to that more neutral position, we're going to start with bringing the shoulders towards the screen that you're watching me on. And then we're going to reverse that motion. Finding some stillness. Finally, we're just going to fold the torso towards that top leg. Allow the hands to land wherever feels most comfortable to them. And then when you're ready, gently rolling yourself all the way back up. Let's release both of the legs. We'll start with that right leg if it's bent, then the left. And again, just find some organic movement here. And then when you're ready, let's make our way into a tabletop position. And we're gonna just start to gently move through some cat-cow. So just take your time to move through this. I do want you to start to maybe, what's the word I want to use here? I guess explore a little bit more. So we are working with the shoulders, and cat-cow is a great shoulder stretch, because when you're exhaling in your cat, and let's say you're pressing into the hands, you're really bringing those shoulder blades away from one another. As you're coming into cow, you're bringing the shoulder blades together, maybe lifting the chin up a little bit more. So just playing with this. We're here for about 10 or 12 of these, so no rush whatsoever. And then as always, take organic movement. I mean, we are exploring in this posture, and this is your practice. It's perfect. Figure out what feels best for your body. And then whenever you're ready, let's come back into a place of stillness. From here, we're gonna get ready to set up for our downward facing dog. So we want those shoulders right over the wrists. We want those fingers separated from one another. Draw that belly button in, let it wrap around the spine, curl those toes under. And then on your next exhale, you're gonna lift the knees, lift the hips. Let's pedal out the legs here. So we first come to this first downward facing dog. And then while we're here, let's hang out here for a moment. Let's drop one heel, keep the opposite heel lifted. Press that heel down just a little bit further, really stretching that hamstring. And then we're gonna go over to the other side. So whatever heel was lifted is now dropped. Whatever heel was dropped is now lifted. From here, let's bring both heels down. Lift those hips up just a little bit higher. From here, we're going to make our way into a warrior one. Let's bring up that right leg, step that right foot in between the hands. Left foot comes to that 45-degree angle. You're going to rise up. We want to make sure that this knee is stacked right above that angle, and then we're going to bring those arms up. Let's even out the shoulders, even out the hips. Really press into that back leg for a moment here. Now, ideally, biceps are in line with the ears. You're going to do what feels best for your body. I'm going to take 2 more rounds of breath. Then from here, let's bring our hands behind the body, interlace the fingers, press the wrists away. It's going to allow those shoulder blades to come together. Maybe you feel like you need to lift the hands up a little bit higher. From here, come back into your warrior one. And then from here, we're gonna add on some eagle arms. Let's bring those arms out long in front of us. We're gonna wrap that left arm underneath the right arm. Bring those hands together. Now, if the hands aren't gonna come together, that's fine. Bring the hands to the top of the shoulders. If the hands do come together, I want you to think about the placement of the hands. Are the hands right next to the forehead, like mine are right now? If they are, can you move those arms away? Can you bring the elbows towards the top of the mat just a little bit more? Again, we still have this right knee stacked right above the ankle. And then when you're ready, let's release those arms. Let's come all the way back up into our Warrior One arms. Now from here, let's come into Humble Warrior. We're going to take the hands behind the body. We're going to interlace the fingers, bring the pointer fingers out. Let's draw those shoulders down. So shoulder blades come together, shoulders are down. Draw your belly button in. What we're going to do is we're going to fold forward. This right shoulder is going to come to the inside of the right knee, and we're going to lift those fingers up towards the sky. Now maybe that means that your hands lift up 1/4 of a centimeter. It all counts. It's all yoga. If your arms are lifted a little bit more than that, really actively press into your feet. Feel those fingertips reach up towards the sky. And then when you're ready, we're going to press into our feet. We're going to bring ourselves all the way back up, landing back in that Warrior One. From here, we're going to come into pyramid. So that means palms are together, pointer fingers are out, just like we had before a moment ago, but they're above our head. We're going to straighten that front knee. Inhale, draw the belly button in. As you exhale, trace a line down the wall in front of you. Hands are going to land onto the earth or maybe onto the block. Evening out those hips if necessary. And then after a breath or two, we start to create some more space. So maybe on your next exhale, maybe you can fold a little bit further. Maybe you can't. It's all good. It's all yoga. Let's come up to that nice flat back. We're going to take that right hand, we're going to bring it to the inside of the right foot, and we're going to bring that left arm all the way up. Now from here, maybe we take a bind. Maybe we bring that left forearm around the low back and bring those left fingertips to the front of that right hip. If you took that bind, come out of the bind. We're going to come into revolve triangle. That means that that left hand's going to come down and that right hand is going to come up. Let's bring that right hand all the way down to the outside of that right foot. We're going to pivot over to the ball of that back foot. So we're going to stack this front knee right above the ankle. We're on the ball of the back foot. We're going to rise up into our high lunge, our crescent lunge. So once we get here, thinking about alignment again, knees stacked above the ankle, not in front of it. Arms are up, biceps in line with the ears, and bring those hips down. From here, let's make our way into revolved crescent lunge. Torso comes forward, left hand plants, right hand lifts. I literally forgot what this was called for half a second. Then when you're ready, let's bring that right hand down. We're going to make our way into a downward facing dog. And just come back to your breath. Take an organic movement here if you feel like your practice is calling for it. Whenever you're ready, we're going to find some stillness. We're going to do that exact same thing on the other side. We're going to bring that left leg up. Make your way into Warrior One. All those little adjustments, just like on the first side, really pressing into that back foot. When you're ready, hands come behind the body. Interlace the fingers, press the wrists away, maybe lift the wrists a little bit higher. Make your way back into your Warrior One. From here, hands come down. We're going to come into our eagle arms. So we're going to take the right arm underneath. Left arm is going to be on top. Same thing here. Figure out where the hands are in relationship to the head. Maybe bring those hands a little further away. Or if those hands are on top of your shoulders, maybe just bring the elbows a little further away. We're going to release those arms, come back up. Bring those hands behind the body, interlace the fingers, point your fingers around, shoulder blades come together. On your exhale, making your way into your humble warrior. Gently bringing yourself all the way back up. From here, palms together, point your fingers out, straighten that front knee. You're going to make your way into your pyramid. So folding forward. Giving yourself space to maybe fold a little bit further. Coming into that nice flat back, we're going to make our way into triangle. So bring that left hand to the inside. Bring that right arm up. Maybe you take that bind. And if you took the bind, bring that arm all the way back up. We're going to make our way into revolved triangle. Right hand comes down, left hand comes up. Left hand comes down, roll to the ball of that back foot, stack this front knee over the ankle, rise up into your crescent lunge, bring those hips down. Next, exhale, revolved crescent lunge, torso comes forward, right hand on the earth, left hand lifts up towards the sky. Downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, let's bring our knees down, come into a child's pose. We're here for about 3 rounds of breath. Make this as comfortable as you would like it to be, or as active as you would like it to be. We're going to make our way back into our downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, let's bring that right leg all the way up. We're going to make our way into warrior 2. So that right foot lands in between the hands, left foot pivots to a 90-degree angle. Rising up, shoulder blades are going to come together. Find your gaze over these front fingertips. Feel like you're going to lift the mat off of the earth with your toes. From here, let's reverse that warrior. Bring that front hand up and over. Maybe take the bind with that bottom arm, that back arm. Exhale, warrior 2. Now from here, I'm going to bring probably the biggest shoulder stretch that we've done so far. Let's take that right hand, bring it all the way down so it's in line with that right leg. Left arm is lifted for our extended side angle. And here are the options. One is to stay like this. One is to take that bind, bring that left arm all the way down. The final option is to take that right hand and maybe interlace those right fingers with those left fingers. If you're doing that, you're actively pressing the earth away. If you did interlace the fingers, let's release that right hand back down. If you took the bind, bring that left arm back up. Press into your feet. We're going to make our way back into a downward warrior 2. From warrior 2, let's make our way back into down dog. From down dog, let's lift that right leg up one more time. We're going to send that right foot to the outside of the right hand. Left knee is going to come down. Let's line those shoulders up right over the wrist. Let that neck be in line with the spine. And then from here, maybe this right knee starts to wing out to the side. Let's bring that knee back up. Curl those back toes under, lift that knee, step back into your downward facing dog. I always like to go through three-legged dog before I come back into down dog, but that's up to you. When you're ready, we're going to set up for the opposite side. This time, left leg comes up. We're going to step into warrior two. So finding all those same cues. Knee is stacked, back foot's at a 90-degree angle, shoulder blades come together. Engage the abdomen, the core, I forgot what these little side guys are called, but they're part of the core as well. When you're ready, reverse your warrior. Front hand comes up and over, back hand behind you, maybe taking that bind. Next, exhale, warrior two. From here, coming into that extended side angle. So left hand is going to come down onto the earth, right arm is going to lift up. So again, either staying here, maybe taking that bind, or maybe bringing that bottom arm underneath, interlacing the fingers. If you've interlaced the fingers, release that hand back down, come back into more traditional extended side angle. We're going to make our way up into our warrior two. Making our way into our down dog. From down dog, making our way into lizard, lift that left leg up. Left foot comes to the outside of that hand, bring that right knee down. And start to open up that knee. Knee comes back to more neutral position. Make your way back into your down dog. Like I said, maybe pass through three-legged dog to get there. And then from here, we're going to come into our pigeon pose. Let's lift that right leg up. We're going to send that right shin to the top of the mat. Place it down. Bring that left knee back. Even out your hips, even out your shoulders. From here, we're going to roll over to our right side. We're going to swing that left leg to the top of the mat. Let's readjust this right knee so that the sole of the foot is right up against the thigh. Torso is going to be in the direction of our left leg. Inhale, both hands are going to come up. Draw that belly button in. As you exhale, try to keep biceps in line with the ears. Let's start to fold forward. Let those hands land wherever they're going to land. And then gently bring yourself back up to a more neutral position. Let's bring the hands back to the sides. We're going to extend that right leg long. We're going to bring our hands right so the shoulders right over the wrist. Fingertips are going to be pointed towards the toes, towards the top of the mat. We're going to come into an upward plank. So again, shoulders are right over the wrist. Draw those shoulder blades together. Feel like your heels are pressed on the earth. Take a breath in. On your exhale, let's lift the heels, lift the hips. Actually, we're going to come into upward for table. That's what I was thinking. We're bending the knees, feet are on the earth. When you're ready, let's bring our bottoms down. We're gonna extend that leg, those legs long. Let's flip ourselves around, come back into our downward facing dog. I got a little ahead of myself just then. We're gonna do that exact same thing on the opposite side. We're gonna lift that left leg up, come into our pigeon pose, bring that shin down, walk that right leg back, even out the hips, even out the shoulders. I'm getting a little sweaty, things are sticking to me. When you're ready, let's roll over to our left side, swing that right leg forward. Again, readjust the hips, readjust the sole of the foot onto that thigh. And torso is going to be in the direction of this extended leg. Whenever you feel ready on your inhale, bring your hands all the way up. As you exhale, let's fold forward. When you're ready, let's gently start to roll back up. We're going to extend that left leg long. We're not going to do upward table. What we're going to do is a fish pose. So with our legs long here, let's bend our knees, bring our back onto the earth. Once you feel like the shoulder blades and the back is like flat upon the earth, let's extend our legs long. We're going to take our hands, bring our hands to our sides, to the sides of our hips. Our palms are on the earth. But what I want you to think about is your elbows. So I want you to tuck your elbows in. From here, I want you to imagine that you're just hanging out, little fishy in the ocean. And above you, there's a boat and there's a line that's coming into the water, and it's going to come and hook you. It's going to hook you for the beautiful, gorgeous fish that you are. So we're going to point our toes towards the wall that's in front of us. As that hook catches hold of our heart, on your exhale, you're going to lift your head, lift your chest up as though you're being pulled in. So that's going to allow the chin to go towards the back of the mat. We're here for just a moment. Now that person has reeled you in and they have found that you are the most magnificent, beautiful fish in the entire ocean, and that they can't keep you all for themselves. So they're going to put you back. And once they start to put you back, we're going to all start to undo that motion with our head. Just come back down onto our backs. Let's bend our knees. Readjust the hips if necessary. Let's bring the knees towards the chest. If you want to come into happy baby, feel free. Come into happy baby. We're just going to start to gently find some movement. If you happen to be making circles, make sure that you start moving in the opposite direction. When you're ready, let's find some stillness. Let's let those feet be in line with the knees. Knees are going to be hovering right above the abdomen, like right above like the diaphragm. We're going to come into a recline twist. Let's bring our arms out long in front of us. Let's let those knees fall to the right, and then maybe the gaze is going to be to the left. We're here for just a few rounds of breath. I want you to think about those shoulders again. And I want you to imagine that someone's standing there and they're just very gently applying a pressure to the shoulders that allows the shoulders to melt more towards the earth in a way that feels good and nourishing to you, that feels safe to you. Let's bring that gaze back to a more neutral position. Let's bring those knees back up, and then we're just going to let the knees fall to the left, and gaze is going to move to the right. We're here for just a few rounds of breath. Let's bring that gaze back to neutral. Let's bring those knees up. From here, maybe give the knees a little hug. Bring those knees in for one more moment. And then we're going to take a full body stretch. We're going to set up for our final posture, our Shavasana, our resting pose, however you would like to. So if you want to be in a reclined position, by all means, feel free to do so. If you'd rather come up to a seated position, by all means, feel free to do so. But once you arrive, giving yourself permission to close the eyes. Let everything that we've done today, let that beautiful recoil just seep itself into every cell. That's what our lovely Shavasana does. Just finding stillness, finding peace. I'm going to end our practice with a piece of poetry by someone named Zach Beach, and the name of the poem is called Love What You've Been Given. In those moments of soft reflection, when yellow moonlight coddles the earth, and a heavy-footed somber threatens to walk over your contentment, strengthen your intention to love what you've been given. Meet the world with appreciation. Love your body, peeling skin, wrinkles, moles, and all. Take your sorrow, depression, and knead it like dough. Punch it if you must, but transform it nonetheless in a greater ability to help others and to empathize with those going through the same. Repair your cracks with gold. Strengthen crumbling walls with the greatest force of all, love. From your family to this day, to this life, to the best of your perfectly imperfect abilities, love what you've been given. Drawing to mind the intention that you set for your practice today. Finding gratitude for this beautiful gift of breath, this beautiful gift of life, this new day, and this new opportunity. And gently bringing movement to your fingers and to your toes. Flooding your eyes open if they are closed. It is always an honor, a blessing, a joy, and a privilege to guide you in your yoga journey. Peace be with you, my friends.